They say the devil thrives in the shadows, but sometimes he steps boldly into the light, even through the doors of the church. Martha had always believed her marriage was built on an unshakable foundation of faith. Her relationship with David seemed like the epitome of devotion, two souls bound by love, God, and a deep sense of spiritual duty. For 15 years, they were seen as the model Christian couple. Their Sunday mornings were devoted to church, and their lives were full of charity drives, prayer groups, and unwavering faith. David, though not a priest, had become something of a spiritual leader in their community. People sought his counsel, admired his fervor for God, and looked up to him as a pillar of virtue. Martha, proud of the man she had married, often shared with friends how blessed she was. "What a man of God," she would say, her heart swelling with pride as David rose early each morning for private prayer sessions. She saw it as a testament to his dedication. Little did she know, as she spent her mornings lighting candles and praying for her family, David's prayers were becoming far more earthly than divine. At first, it was subtle. David began to grow distracted, less present at family dinners. He started turning his phone off or keeping it out of sight. Martha chalked it up to the stress of his busy life, but soon, the changes became more noticeable. He lingered after church services, staying long after everyone else had left. When Martha asked him about it, he simply said, "Just some extra time with the Lord, my dear." But the unease in Martha's heart began to grow. Her suspicions were piqued when she noticed the hushed conversations David shared with Sister Abigail, a young, radiant nun who had recently joined the convent. Sister Abigail was the epitome of purity and devotion, a symbol of the faith everyone in the congregation revered. Yet Martha noticed something in David's eyes whenever he spoke to her, a glint of something more than spiritual respect. At first, Martha dismissed it. After all, Sister Abigail had taken vows of chastity, and she was a beloved member of their community. There could be no way David, a man so deeply committed to his faith, would stray. But then came a stormy Sunday morning that would forever change Martha's life. The rain pounded against the windows as she woke with an unsettling feeling in her chest. David had left the house even earlier than usual, claiming he needed to prepare for the service. Something felt wrong. It was a gut feeling, a cold premonition gnawing at her. Unable to shake the dread creeping up on her, Martha hurriedly threw on her coat and drove to the church. The sky flashed with lightning, as if to illuminate the truth that had been hidden from her. When she arrived, David's car was parked haphazardly near the back entrance, and her heart sank. She entered the church quietly, expecting to hear hymns or soft prayers, but what she heard instead sent chills down her spine. Laughter, soft whispers, and then an eerie silence. Trembling, she pushed open the door to the side chapel. What she saw stopped her heart. There, in the dimly lit room, were David and Sister Abigail, wrapped in each other's arms. Their passion was forbidden, their moment stolen from a world that would never understand. Time seemed to freeze as Martha stood in the doorway, her breath caught in her throat. "David!" Her voice was barely a whisper, but it was enough. He froze, as though caught in the act of blasphemy. Sister Abigail pulled away in shock, clutching her habit to her chest as if it could conceal the truth. "Martha, David stammered, but it was too late. The betrayal had been exposed, and Martha's world crumbled in an instant. But the nightmare did not end there. Unbeknownst to them, a young altar boy had witnessed everything. With shaking hands, he captured a few brief but damning seconds of video on his phone, enough to set the world ablaze. He sent it to a friend, who sent it to another, and soon the scandal was out. By sundown, it had spread like wildfire across the internet. People were horrified, asking how the same man who had once prayed so fervently could fall so deeply into sin. The same questions rang out about Sister Abigail, who had dedicated her life to God. How could she betray her vows so completely? Panic spread through the church leadership, who scrambled to manage the damage. Official statements were issued, and the bishop pleaded for forgiveness. But it was too late. The truth was out, raw and merciless, and it was darker than anyone had feared. The more the reporters dug, the more secrets came to light. David and Sister Abigail had been meeting in secret for months. Love letters had been exchanged, late-night confessions turned into clandestine meetings, and whispers spread that Sister Abigail might even be pregnant. The betrayal went deeper than a simple affair. It was an assault on the trust that the entire community had placed in them. But Martha, though heartbroken, refused to be silent. She took to social media, sharing her story not for pity, but as a warning. Her raw, emotional video reached millions. I trusted my husband with my heart. I trusted Sister Abigail with my prayers, she said. But the lesson here is clear. No one is beyond temptation. Her courage resonated with thousands who had suffered hidden betrayals of their own. Churches invited her to speak on forgiveness, resilience, and the importance of watching for wolves in sheep's clothing. Martha became a voice for the voiceless, turning her pain into power. But the story didn't end there. Months later, Martha received an anonymous letter. Inside were photographs, grainy but clear, showing David and Sister Abigail together in a foreign country, living under new identities. They had run away, abandoning everything they had once known to start a new life together. A bitter smile spread across Martha's face. Let them run, she thought. The truth always follows. And with that, Martha closed the chapter on a painful but defining part of her life. The echoes of the scandal would linger, forever serving as a chilling reminder that even in the holiest of places, the darkest sins can be hidden.